Mary had a little man.
We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
A sitting U.S. Congresswoman suggests that if she had been in charge of the January 6th attack on the Capitol, the crowds would have been armed and they would have, quote, won the insurrection. Speaking at an event hosted by the New York Young Republican Club, Marjorie Taylor Greene said this. Watch.
I come to Washington. I swear in on January 3rd. I get accused of giving insurrection tours, which I thought was hilarious because I couldn't even find the bathroom in the Capitol. True story. Then January 6th happens, and next thing you know, I organized the whole thing along with Steve Bannon here. And I want to tell you something, if Steve Bannon and I had organized that, we would have won.
Won what?
Not to mention, it would have been armed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, that's the whole joke, isn't it? They say that whole thing was planned, and I'm like, are you kidding me? A bunch of conservatives, Second Amendment supporters went in the Capitol without guns, and they think that we organized that? I don't think so.
Well, those are interesting comments, to say the least, considering how she felt during the attack. Greene messaged White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and I quote here, "Please tell the president to calm people. This isn't the way to solve anything." Publicly, of course, a different tune. Just a week and a half later, she pushed Meadows to stage a coup, getting the military involved so that Trump could stay in power. Quote, "In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law." She spelled it incorrectly there. She justified that request by perpetuating the lie that led to the violence at the Capitol in the first place, writing, "They stole this election. We all know they will destroy our country next."
Okay, so there you have it. Marjorie Taylor Greene giving you a heads up that next time, and there will be a next time, they will win. What will they have won? So don't I always tell you that? Happy Monday, everybody. Oh, and thank you very much for a very successful pledge drive. The past 2 weeks, we're done. We don't have to ask anymore. We made our goal. Thank you so much. The 10 grand showed up for the pledge, the frontline funder who said, make your goal and I'll kick in another 10. That happened. So thank you. But honestly, don't I always tell you, if you win, what will you have won should be the guiding light for whether or not you engage at all. So she said, if we organized it, and of course she was tweeting, this is your 1776 moment. And of course she was saying, I just had a meeting with the president of the United States about January 6th. So, this whole, sweet little country mouse, this little, innocent bear in the woods game that she's got going on, totally unbelievable, totally false, totally made up in her own freaking, mind to give her some sort of an alibi, I guess. I don't know. But she, first of all, let me just set the stage for what this was. Okay. The New York Young Republicans Club used to be a bunch of, young Wall Street types, white shoe law firm guys, getting ready to go to Washington to ask for tax breaks and tax cuts for investment bankers and hedge fund managers and all. It's not white shoe law firm. It's now white robes. It's now the white robe crowd. These were a bunch of the most virulent white supremacists. In fact, there were so many white supremacists there that they probably had enough for a quorum. I mean, it was like every single white supremacist, not just in the United States, not just Steve Bannon, not just Jack Prosebic, not just representatives of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and friends of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, not just Junior. Yeah, Donald Trump Jr. showed up to this fiesta bowl of hate. Went on for 5 hours. I mean, Orwell looks so silly saying a 2-minute hate. This was a 5-hour hate. And every single attendee was applauding violence, applauding white supremacy ideology, applauding hatred, applauding, discrimination, saying really ugly things about teachers, believe it or not, teachers. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I mean, her little, thing on the stage there. The thing you need to know about her is she was telling you there will be a next time. She was saying if we were in charge of January 6th, we would have won. What she would have won, I guess, was the overthrow of our government, because that's what was in play that day. And she's saying, me and Steve Bannon over here, we would have made sure they were armed. Well, they were armed, okay? I just saw 3 men who fought the police and then decided to light up inside the Capitol. And I mean, a couple of them were smoking pot and the other ones were smoking cigarettes. They just got sentenced. 2 pled guilty and 1 went to trial. And the one that went to trial literally got about 5 years, a little more than 5 years, and started crying at his own sentencing. Don't you love it? Just weeping, just crying. He said through tears, "I'm no longer beating my chest over January 6th, and I will have to live the rest of my life with my abhorrent actions. The rest of my life." This is a guy who brought a gun. He brought a gun. He came from Las Vegas, 35 years old. His name's Ronald Sandlin. He brought a gun to Washington. He assaulted police officers. He got the longest sentence of the 3 at 63 months. And he was the only one of the men convicted in 2 separate trials to show remorse. The other 2 that pled guilty, they showed no remorse. In fact, they were very excited that they had, participated. They tried to get rid of evidence. They tried to erase video. They tried to delete stuff from their laptops and from their cell phones. But they got caught because they were sharing stuff from their laptop in a jail cell that was recording. That was recording. So they got their encryption keys. Anyway, the judge ordered that they return the money that they fundraised, and that Marjorie, this was the fundraising thing, that Marjorie Taylor Greene calling them political prisoners. Anyway, so what we know now from her, little dog and pony show there, her speech, just her speech alone, is that she's saying next time we'll get it. Next time we'll do it. Next time we'll be successful. Next time we'll overthrow the government. And other people who are of the same party as this wretch, they're saying, this is a slap in the face to the Capitol Police and other law enforcement. It's not a slap in the face. This is a hockey stick to the head. Okay? This is bear spray to the face. This is a flagpole to the groin. The White House released a statement saying a sitting member of Congress should not be boasting that she would have succeeded in an armed insurrection against the United States government. But I want the White House to make a note that this would be the very first thing that Marjorie Greene was successful at as a member of Congress, right? So you have to take your victories where you... Okay, never mind. But I mean, honestly, this woman, what is she? They're going to put her on what? The Homeland Security Committee, so that the next time is easier to accomplish. I mean, why? Kevin McCarthy is an election denier, and he might end up being Speaker of the House. Why are we actually going to allow in this country seditionists, people who are, advocating for treason, people who said next time, we would have won if they would have been armed, if we would have organized it, it could have prevailed. We would have been able to overturn the United States government. I mean, how is it possible that these people can hold positions of honor in the United States of America speaking like this? Now, the other stuff she said was just plain gross. It was just plain stupid. She said things like school teachers, swear to God, school teachers are responsible for school shooters. What? In what way would that? Okay, in her warped little twisted mind, she says school teachers are grooming, I swear, they never miss an opportunity to use a G word, but school teachers are grooming students to hate, and that's why, and she actually says mostly white men, white boys, go out, get guns, come back and shoot up their own schools. Why? It has nothing to do with weapons being available. It has nothing to do with finding them laying around the house. It has nothing to do with taking mom's guns. It has nothing to do with the fact that, the red flag laws aren't enforced and people who shouldn't have guns get guns and then go to school. No. Teachers are grooming the students to hate. And that's what's causing school shootings. I mean, this is a wretched woman. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.